Hello, Romans here and welcome to another music review. I review every album from a viewpoint of a musician, as I'm a singer, songwriter and a bass player for my own group Jakobe. And last year we have released our debut album called Pursuits in Life. What makes it unique is that it's a pretty heavy prog rock without guitars. Instead you have drums, bass, saxophone and keyboards. You can check out two of our music videos on my YouTube channel. We're building our own monument and Fake the New Kind of Beauty, and also a studio live take of A Way to Oppose. And in the description of all these videos you will find all the information about where is the record available. It's available on all digital platforms like Spotify, Tidal, Deezer, iTunes, Amazon, Bandcamp, but also in this Digipack version with a very beautifully illustrated 20 pages long booklet. So in case you want one, all you need to do is contact me via Facebook, Instagram, email, or you can get one on Bandcamp. And today I'm going to review the debut album from Nikola Bankov, who you could have seen in a video sample before and who recorded saxophone on my album Pursuits in Life, and his debut album is called Bright Future.
Music review. Music review.
Nikola Bankov is a young saxophone player from Slovakia who is currently studying in Denmark, where he also recorded and released his debut album something over 2 weeks ago. And he also has a pretty big featuring here, one of the most famous saxophone players as of today, Seamus Blake from America. I remember something like 2 years ago Nico released his first single, Sailing Through Life, which is a very experimental jazz song. It's not on this album, but it's a fantastic track and I encourage you to check it out on YouTube. And I really liked it so much that I was awaiting his debut album, so I've heard it 7 times as of now. So without further ado, let's start. The first track on the album is called Hope You'll Get It, which is like a psychedelic jazz rock song, and I really love those heavy and fat riffs, which may be a little bit of my influence on Nico when we were working together. Then there's also I think it's a keyboard solo, and this is another big plus of the album, that Nikola and also Seamus, they are both saxophone players, so it's quite logical that the saxophone is the dominant instrument on the album. But you also have occasional solos from other instruments every now and then, which just adds to the overall complexity of the album, and it really feels like you're listening to a band rather than Nico with some session musicians. Then there is a saxophone solo with psychedelic overtones, which is a pretty crucial part of Nico's sound and playing style. Towards the end of the song it gets a little more relaxed and it works as a sort of an exhale. December 16 is a simple ambient piece with really nice keyboards in the back that give it almost like an electronic vibe. It's a very nice song and very intimate at the same time. I love how gently he plays on the saxophone. There are some notes which are barely hearable. Song for My Country is a track he recorded a music video for, and this is a groovy jazz with the influences of Slovak folk music, which is something pretty popular in Slovakia these days, and this is also something that makes this song unique on a worldwide level because of it. Then we have again that trippy acid saxophone solo that sounds pretty dark and tense. And I like that the second solo, or the next solo, is slightly more relaxed, something you would expect from smooth jazz, and it creates a really nice contrast. Mind Bubble is another song that he released long before this album came out, and there is a little criticism I have to draw towards this song, It's just the beginning. When the song starts, that beginning is exactly the same as from the song High Hopes from Pink Floyd. This is something that artists should always be careful about. If you include just a little piece in your music that's reminiscent of something more famous, people are always gonna hear that more famous song there. But I really like how he plays with different types of delays, and that main melody is really great, and especially how he colors that sound with, I think it's a beat crusher. It's just one of the most unique soundscapes on the album, and I totally love it. All those sonic experiments really elevate not only this song but the whole album, but I like it that he relatively keeps it subtle. It means that he never really lets those sounds to take over. It's mainly about his playing, but he uses all those sounds to make it more interesting. The mid section is more groovy, and I like how guitars and keyboards are in sync. It's really fantastic. Vibing in Denmark, which I think refers to his time in Denmark, is more funky at the beginning. And I like that, I think it's a bass with fuzz, a great sounding fuzz. It's nice to hear that other musicians on the album experiment with the sounds as well. The keyboard solo here is very similar to those saxophone solo. It's so trippy and dark. For All We Love is a smooth jazz song, very romantic sounding, kind of like from a movie. This is another one of my favorite moments on the record. The final track on the album is called Bright Future. It's the title track, again slightly more groovy jazz rock song, and there's also an interesting guitar solo that almost goes into the Latino territory at times. To sum up, I really liked and enjoyed this album. It was a bit difficult for me to make a review for this album because this is not generally a type of a music I listen to, but Nikola is a fantastic saxophone player. Those songs have some really strong melodic moments, and I think that the name Nikola Bankov is going to be a pretty huge name soon in jazz music. Have you heard this album already? You can let me know in the comment section below. You can also let me know whether you agreed or disagreed with me. You can follow me on Facebook or on Instagram. You can find links to both in the description of this video below. If you like this review, don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe. You can check out my own original music where Nico really shines, my live performances, my worst to best series, and quite a lot of other reviews as well. So thanks a lot for watching.